All right. Well, hello, and welcome back. I'm just going to check, make sure sound's working. All right, I can see the mic sound. I can see background music sound. We're good to go. Okay, so I'm back after a little bit of a long while here. But what I'm working on today is just pretty simple. It's just moving some environment variables into a database. So I need to create a table for a bunch of environment variables and then decide, add some logic onto the routing, probably like a rec dot hostname, that when the route's being called, it decides what information to send back. And there's going to be various places that I need to start adjusting throughout the code base, but that's the simple form of what we're working on. So before we get started, let's go ahead and pop top, my friends. Have a quick word from our not a sponsor, Mr. Mountain Dew. All right, there we go. Pew. And I'm a little bit awkward today because I have I got the Mac Studio so that I can have just a standalone desktop computer, and I'm kind of getting that set up still. Not kind of. That is not set up yet, and I'm not going to be getting it set up until probably tonight, but there's a few things like running the software updates and stuff that I'm just having it do right now. Anyway, so let me go ahead and get into my projects directory here, and if all goes well, this is pretty up to date. Good. Okay. So we have an examples.env. It's got a bunch of stuff in it. I think the better one is actually right here. And we just need to make a database table that represents a lot of these things. Let's see here. Oh, it keeps on telling me a new device is added to my account over and over and over again. Did it reboot? What is it doing? Oh well, we'll find out later, I suppose. Anyway, my desk is super cluttered right now. You can't see it, of course, but it's like everything is everywhere. It's a little bit unwieldy. But I'm going to do my best to figure it out here. Okay, there we go. So it's just rebooting itself away. And then I've got to use my keyboard in a different position than usual. So first thing I want to do is I just want to go take a look at the migrations. And actually, what is it? Connects, no, npx connects, migrate, make. And then white label ENVs. And then I need to go look up the connects documentation for creating these. I gotta see if any of these ought to be. I think we're just gonna make something that's really, really wide. And we're gonna have a default. And we're gonna have to use MySQL. Does MySQL support ULIDs out of the box yet? Or I guess it's MariaDB. If you haven't discovered ULIDs yet, I highly, highly, highly recommend them. Basically, they're like UUIDs, except that they're sortable, so they play into the caching mechanism that databases use. Because if you use a UUID, it's random, and then it actually becomes difficult. Oops, oh, I didn't mean to go out of frame there. Let me see if I can tilt this over a little bit. Holy moly. Why does it keep on changing what my user icon is? I keep on changing it to an 8-ball. And then every single time that it's shown my icon, it is different. And it's not the 8-ball that I had chosen. Anyway, the UUIDs, because they're random, they can't be sorted into a hash table in a meaningful way. So as the database is getting lots of writes and it's trying to decide where things should go, because it's random, they're going in a uniform distribution of nowhere, which is unusual. That's not what the database expects. Oh, and of course I can't use Touch ID. Hold on one. nice and... There we go. Okay. But a ULID has a time component to it and a random component, and so the time component will help it sort based on the way the database is trying to sort rapid inserts, so it can double or even 10x your insert speed. Yeah. So there we go. ULID will be significantly faster, almost the same as an auto-incremented integer. Yeah, okay, so this article actually goes... This comment goes into it. So if you're interested in that, ULIDs versus UUIDs right there. And then, let's see. But this doesn't tell how to do it. I was kind of hoping to find an article on how to do it. It's a way to generate, storing ULIDs as primary keys. Okay, ULID. Accept all cookies every time. Nice. Okay, well, we would just do ULIDs in the layer one level up anyway. We'll just do it in the node code. char 26. Okay. All right, let me just see here. And you should be able to store them in a UUID column. Yeah. Anyway. Are we already using ULID anywhere in here? No, we're not using ULIDs yet. That's okay. Alright, migrations, white label, ENVs. And then we are going to... Oops. Oh, I was going to just check. It's 26 characters. Whoops. Dang it. Okay, 26. That's what I thought. So we're going to have a char 26. I have to remember how to do all this stuff in connects every time. Okay, connects, create table, schema builder. All right, create table. Actually, let me check in here. Let me just search what we already have. I'm going to go into DB migrations and just look at an example where I'm creating a table and see what it looks like. Okay, so chaining. All right, we're just going to take this one and we're going to use that. Our... I don't know why they don't put the async on these when they auto-generate it. Seems kind of weird. And leave out the use strict. Okay, so drop table if exists. We're going to put this in here, and this is going to be called... I don't know what to call it right now. I might just call it, for right now, I'm going to call it white label ENVs, and we're going to come up with a better name for it later. I'll probably call it something like, I don't know, app config. Alright, that's all we needed that for. And then I do want to see, alright, create table, primary. Do we have a... primary in here? Create table string ID primary. And I think there's a way to specify the length of the string. But I was using UUIDs, and the problem with oh, what's up? GUID. Hey, Startup Builder. Sorry, I didn't see your comment there. Also, I have the wrong chat selected here, so let me bring up the chat here so I'll see this one too. That'll help a little bit. Just a second. There we go. All right, so now I'll see chats right here. I had it for the Dash Incubator channel because that's what I was doing most recently. Okay, GUID is globally uniquely identifier, globally unique identifier, whereas UUID is universally unique identifier. It's just two different standards to try to accomplish the same purpose. I think GUID is a Microsoft standard, and then UUID is a more well accepted standard. It's not proprietary to Microsoft. Why not use base 64? What do you mean by base 64? Because base 64 is just an encoding, and ULIDs happen to use a base 32, but this makes sense because databases are often case insensitive. So having the base 32 rather than base 64 makes sense because you're using lowercase letters rather than using lowercase and uppercase. And yeah, when you're dealing with systems that are case insensitive, it's nice to be case insensitive. So there's that, but the encoding mechanism is really not what's important. The UUIDs are encoded in hex, which is base 16, and base 26 is more efficient than, or 32. Sorry, base 32 is twice as efficient as base 16. Hold on a second. Let me run git status. Okay, good. So git got installed over here. And then let's look again for update, software update. Check for software update. Security response is available. Apply now. Okay. I have that installing. I figure I'll probably have to update that a couple of times. Git diff, git status, git remove -v. What? Huh? I don't understand. Git remote -v? Are you saying you want to see what repository I'm working in? It's a private repository, so you wouldn't be able to get access to it. Yeah, this is I'm working in a private repository. So there's nothing like with what I'm doing right now, there's nothing super special about it. I mean, there's no proprietary workings of what I'm doing, so I'm fine to stream it, but there is yeah, you wouldn't get access to this repository. But we have a bunch of environment variables, and we're going to white label the product. And so I did the work for this over the past couple of years, a little bit here and a little bit there, moving everything into config files, all of the keys and everything. And with the original developers that created it, you know, they kind of did what developers do by default, which is just throw everything in the code. And so over the past couple of years, as I've had the opportunity to, I've moved all of the keys, all of the config values, everything out into ENVs, and it was very good that I did that, because now we need to white label, and so we just need to move. We need to create this. What we're going to call this white label ENVs. Now we need to move this stuff over. Anyway, so I think I'm going to go check on the connects documentation, but I think the way that you do this is string, and then name, and then comma. Yeah. All right, and so we know that this is going to be a particular size, and we know that's going to be the primary key. And I think I will just call it ID, and that'll be fine. Okay, So there's that. And then we're just going to have to go through one by one and see what each of these things is supposed to be. And I think we're just going to require, yeah, a bunch of stuff. Okay, so app base URL. This one, I think, some of these I'm not sure. I think they're just used as part of the build process. And the front end stuff is being moved away from that. So we're just going to go ahead and just get rid of all that. That's really all I needed for, was just to get started. Just how do we create a table? I was going to use the other stuff as references, but I don't really need to. So app base URL. And let's see. Issuer. We're going to have to create an OIDC issuer. Well, we're gonna need to move this stuff to a single sign-on anyway. But there's a number of things. Okay, the plaid redirect. I don't have to worry about that right now, but I will have to worry about that eventually. Okay. I need to click in here and see. Okay. Automatic updates. All right. Trying to wonder if there's anything else that's kind of big. I'll probably need Xcode eventually. Maybe I should just go ahead and have that download and install right now. I don't know. Okay. All right. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go through each one of these one by one by one. And see what we need to do. Let's see. So before we were basically using app base URL for separating staging from development, etc. Okay. Did you get that 140K job? No, so there was a 400K job that was for Go. That I did not get. That one, yeah, it didn't go the way that I hoped. The process was very efficient. And it was very direct. And the things that I thought that I could most bring to the table, I was not able to demonstrate through the process that they had defined. And I had not been working enough in Go recently. I was kind of stumbling over, typing things out. And then also in the actual live interview, it was not... I thought it was going to be pair programming because they said it was going to be pair programming, but it wasn't pair programming. It was just them watching you code, and I did not understand the question that they posed or the scenario that they posed, and so I went about solving it the wrong way, and then so Yeah, I bombed it pretty bad, actually. I love take-home assignments. I hate live coding. Because I get nervous, even on the best of days, when people are asking me. I mean, you're kind of being asked to mind read in a lot of those situations. And I just, yeah. Okay, so I was looking for app base URL. Okay, this makes sense. Yeah, so we're somehow gonna have to distinguish between things where, so there are webhooks that really need to come back around to the original. The original API, because the webhooks are registered. Let's see, what's this one? That's going to be a PETA. And then there are ones like this, where it's not the app base URL, but I think what we're going to need is like I don't know. I think we might need to call it webhook base URL. Yeah, because that one, or server base URL, that might be the other way to go about it. But we definitely need to distinguish between the base URL that's used in a way that can be white labeled and the base URL that's used in a way that can't be white labeled. What's up, David? How you doing? Some hydration salts. Not because I think they're healthy, but just because they taste good. It's a new thing. Okay, so let me go back here. So we're going to need to have app base URL, and that is not going to be primary, and this is not nullable. And I guess maybe I could, no, I can't just, I don't think I'd want to just chain those. That would be annoying. Okay. App front end URL. This is one, I need to just check this out real quick. Front end URL. Okay. So maybe it needs to be, let's see, app API base URL. Definitely want to be doing it like that. Then app server name. Really? We're not using that anymore, apparently. I'd love to grep the Git history. I wish there were more built-in grepping tools for Git. All right, OIDC issuer. Really? I could have sworn we were using that one. Okay, am I in the right place? Okay, these are used elsewhere. That's okay, we need to start using this in a few more places anyway. And I do need to open this over here on this other screen and take a look at a few things. Okay. And I think we don't need to prefix any of these with app because it's all part of the white labeling. So API-based URL, web-based URL, pretty much all of these are going to be strings. I don't think we need to change the back office thing. I think we do need to change the company. So we're going to have... And this comes from... I think I got this from the JSON schema. Okay, this one's a little obnoxious. A little too clubby. Next time I go to get a PO box, I'm going to ask for 1337. So this is one of those things that those autocomplete tools do really good at. I bet I could even ask ChatGPT to do this. Oh, again, we don't need to do company because we can just do... So... region... It's going to be Utah. region code, UT, locality, all right, postal code. There we go. Okay. Like domain name. Let's see, link. I think it should be link. I think I meant to say link name. I don't remember why these are different. I think it's because sometimes the actual link, it might be, you know, go to whatever.com, but the actual link is something like links.whatever.com. This is We Are the Robots, OC remix. I actually like it quite a bit. Uh-oh. What happened? Oh, interesting. Whoa. Hold on a second. Oh, interesting. Very interesting. So, a thing I just found out, apparently, with the extended desktop that Apple now has, so you can create virtual screens between computers, but it's an overlay, so it's almost like remote desktop. So you can't actually drag. You can use the screens of other computers. Well, this is really weird too. One of the things that's really weird about it is there should be basically no latency because I have Wi-Fi turned off on both of these. But there actually was latency. But anyway, I can add... that's interesting. Very interesting. I can add my screens back. Or use my laptop as an additional screen. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. Okay. So we've got app domain, and it's being used for sibling email. I don't know that I even should exist. So company link. That's not being used the way that I thought that it was. Oh, back office URL. That's one I didn't remember. Oh man, there's going to be so many places throughout the application that this needs to be updated. Company link. Okay, where's the render email template? We must have gotten rid of the template that used this. Or, huh. We just don't use that anymore? Let me go in here. Okay. Company link. Okay, example message. Company short name. Okay, so apparently we don't actually use that in any of our templates anymore. So I guess I'll leave both of these out for now. Let me just double check on this one again. What was that being used for? Recipient email. Okay, we're gonna let that one be. Okay, but I'm pretty darn sure we're still using legal name. All right, let's just get rid of that, and we'll get rid of that. Well, okay. All right, but company legal name is still used. What's up, chat? How's it going? All right, we need to get the company logo, privacy URL, short name. Okay, that's mostly just used in the mailer. And then we're going to call this logo URL to be more clear about it. And then company privacy URL. Do we have privacy policy? Okay, so that's just that way. Privacy URL, terms URL. Okay, it's just going to keep on notifying me about this until I click OK, I suppose. Hold on just 1 second. Oh. Okay. So we'll have a privacy URL, a terms URL. We'll have the short name. The state, we don't need the state twice because we have region. So we'll just change that. Although there's a legal address and then there's like mailing address. And so those could be different. So we may want to specify between legal I don't know. I'll leave it for now. Okay. Support address. Okay. And I'm not sure how we would set them up. I think it's okay for it to be high touch to get them set up with the email. that process may not be as simple as hoped. Alright, mailer defaults, support name, support address. Okay. Support name, support title? I don't know. Oh. Acme support. There you go. Support at noreply.acme.com. I thought it was funny. It's funny because the squirrel gets dead, you know? Okay, support name, support address, terms. Okay, and then there's the URL. And this is different from the link. Okay. Link name. And, oops. What do we call this? So this would be acme.com. Link URL. Something like this. Okay. Demo account. We would not change that. So I don't think we're going to change the redirect. Okay. And then these, I think, just need to be updated. So if you are not... Hey, how's it going, everybody? What's up? If you are not familiar with Postmark, they have solved the email problems. And I mean that sincerely. There's a lot of problems related to sending email that if you take a scattershot approach, then you'll just be suffering. But if you take the approach that they outline in their documentation, then you can pretty much get guaranteed delivery all the time. So, food for thought. Let's see here. And I guess we don't need this to be... So, sorry. I said something and I don't even know if I said the right thing, and then I started thinking something else and I said something else. Let me get back to what was important here. Postmark has a lot of good guides. And one of the things that they teach you to do, which is really important, is email segmentation. So email segmentation is that your reply to address and your from address are divorced. So your from address is always, which is also part, return path, which is an SMTP header, and from address, which I guess from is also an SMTP header, those two have a one-to-one correlation. But the reply to is divorced from that. You can have you could have the same reply to for every single email. But you need to have different from addresses that define the type of delivery. And so anything that should have an unsubscribe button would go in a different domain than things that don't need an unsubscribe button. That's the so email segment account from and I think we do. I'll have to go check and see where this is used. I think we do allow putting the name in there. Okay, why is this buzzing? So much buzz. Okay. Oops. Okay, stream account from. Let's see, do we put the from with the name? Okay. Alright, so this needs to be something like I'm going to have to put it this way. I need to go double check on what that looks like in production real quick. Or at least in staging. In the real environment. Okay. So yes, I think that the value is supposed to look something like that. Oops. So email segment. Account ID. And then this would be something like account segment. And then this would end up being something like feed segment. Oh, except this one would be activity. Alright, I might need to come up with a better name for some of these, but... Oh, and this could be... promo from... promo ID... Actually, I'm going to go look this up again real quick and see what I actually have it called. Not in the example only, but in the real deal. Okay. Alright, so we've got the service. Oh, I was looking up what is the actual account. Activity. Service, I think we did okay, service and updates. I'm going to go with news. All right, so the idea is this is generally one-to-one stuff like account login. This is stuff that is many-to-one, so a social feed. This is stuff that's one-to-many, like a product update about some new feature that you're adding to the application or whatever. And then this is one-to-many, but it is like things that have to go out. All right, what do we call this? Service. Service ID, service from, activity. So we actually call it account, activity, service, and promo. Okay. So those are the literal strings. All right, so that is that. And then I need to check to see if there was anything else that needs to be ironed out. Okay, we need to have a friendly ID for the brand. So we have a brand slug. That was one. I don't think we changed any of the back office stuff. Oh. Ooh. And then there's two ways of white labeling. One is called custom branding. So custom branding is when you go to something like mybusiness.dropbox.com. That one is custom branding. And then there's white labeling, which is where you go to files.mybusiness.com. And for the sake of the email segmentations, it's easier to start out with custom branding. Let's see.